Alright, people. Welcome back to another fan fiction reading. This time it's by A Wish Come True by Front Door 6, which I have been behind. I apologize because I have other things to do. And there's other ones I need to finish. So, I'm going to do what I can. So, A Wish Come True, Chapter 39, The Magic Within. Hey everybody, I'm back again. Man, I am so excited about seeing the new episode next Saturday. Wish I didn't have to put up with college before it comes. I really want to see it. Let's look at the new summary for it. Princess Celestia has decided that the rambunctious Discord needs to be tamed and commissions the ponies for the job. Celestia believes that Discord deserves a second chance, but she faces the opposite and she is the only one who thinks so. I hope they release clips and stuff during the week before Saturday, just something to give us while we wait. Anyway, enjoy the chapter. It's been 3 days since Luna tried to use a love potion on me. And as promised, I was preparing to go to Luna's castle to see this mysterious present she wants to give to me. Of course, we had explained to Jeff about what happened. And trust me, he was shocked once we did. He even felt that whenever he was thirsty, he'd stick to water from now on. I have also been having bad nightmares again. It was weird. One night, I'd have a nightmare. The next night, I wouldn't. And then the night after that, I'd have another one. It sounds like they were being turned on and off like a light bulb. Ponyville Library. I had just finished taking a shower. I walked out the bathroom feeling refreshed and clean. I needed to appear good for when I visited Luna. She was still a princess after all. I walked in the living room to find Twilight standing by the front door with my setback sitting on the floor beside her. I walked to her and smiled. Okay, Twi. I'm all clean and ready to go, I said. Twilight smiled back. Good. Now I'll pack you some things to use while you're there. Apples in case you get hungry, a scarf in case you get cold, and other stuff, she said. After hearing this, I smirked at her. You're always taking care of me, aren't you? Twilight smirked back. Well, that's because you're always getting yourself into trouble. You probably wouldn't last a day without me, she said. I've been caught by surprise by wrapping my arm around her back and quickly pulling her up to me. I couldn't even smirk as I looked straight in her eyes. You don't know how right you are. I don't know how I'd live without you, Twi, I said sweetly. Twi smiled warmly. She responded by leaning her head forward and kissing me deeply. I kept hold of her as I kissed back. After a few seconds, Twi broke the kiss, but I kept my arm around her. Alright, now you should get going. You don't want to be late for your meeting with the princess, she said. I still had a smirk on my face. Oh, I think she could wait a little longer, I said before I started kissing Twilight's cheek. Twilight giggled as she tried to push me away. Man, not now. You're gonna be late. We'll have some private time later. She giggled. I teased her by continuing to kiss her cheek lovingly. Twilight kept on me smiling before her horn glowed and my arm was forced to release her. I smirked her again. Spoil sport, I joked. Twilight smirked back before she hovered the saddlebags onto my back. Get out of here, you big green lump, she joked as she pointed at the door. I choked at her demand. Yes, ma'am, I said before I walked up to the door. I grabbed a knot with my hoof and put the door open before I walked out of the library. Twilight watched from the doorway as I walked further away from the library to have enough room to take off. Hey, Twilight called. I turned my head around to see in the doorway. She smiled warmly at me. I love you, she said. I smiled warmly back. Love you too, Twilight, I said before I turned my head back around and looked up at the clear blue sky above me. I then flapped my wings and took off into the sky. Once I was high in the air, I turned around to look down at Twilight, who was still standing in the doorway. I returned to her. She waved back. With that down, I turned back around and flew off in direction towards Luna's castle. Twilight continued watching until she couldn't see me anymore. She turned around and walked back to the library before she closed the front door. Later that day, Luna's castle. After a long and tiring flight, I finally arrived at Luna's castle. I landed in front of the main gates where, once again, 2 guards stood and looked at me. After coming here a number of times, I knew the drill at this point. They didn't ask me what my intentions were, and I had to explain why I was here. I was about to explain before one of the guards cut me up before I could even speak. Young Matthew, it's been a while since you last came here. The princess informed us that you were coming. I was going to inside while reporting in front of the princess of your arrival. One of the guards said before they both used to march open the gates. I was surprised by their understanding. As he said, one guard rushed towards castle while the others stayed with me. He looked at me again. This way, he said before he walked into the castle grounds with me following behind. Meanwhile, the guard went inside the castle and rushed up the stairs that led to the throne room. Luna was standing in the center of a throne room with 3 guards standing before her. She was to instruct them on their duties. And that is why I have called you 3 here. You're my best guards. I am putting you in charge of all the groups until my new captain arrives in a few months. Am I clear? Luna said with a serious voice. Yes, Your Highness, the 3 guards said strongly at the same time. At that moment, the guard from the gates opened one of the double doors and walked towards Luna. The 3 guards turned around seeing him before they separated and let him approach Luna. Once in front of her, he bowed his head. The guard then brought his head back up to look Luna in the face. Your Highness, I'm here to inform you that Matthew has arrived, he said to her. After hearing this, Luna smiled. Thank you. Show him in. The rest of you, you know your duties. Dismiss, she said. With that, the guards gave one last bow before they did, as she said, and walked away from her. Luna didn't remember something important before turning her attention on the guards. Oh, wait, you? She said, pointing at the guard. The guard who she was pointing at then stopped walking and turned around to face her. Yes, Your Highness? He asked. I have a task for you. Go down to the forger and ask if Matthew's gift is ready, Luna said. The guard bowed again. Of course, Your Highness, he said before he turned around and followed the other guards out the throne room and closed the doors behind him, leaving Luna alone in the room while she waited. Meanwhile, me and the guard entered the castle lobby and up the stairs towards the throne room. On the way, 3 other guards walked past before the guard that I recognized from the gate stopped in front of us. Her Majesty, we see you now, he said. Thank you, Maestro said before we both continued to walk up the stairs. Once we reached the top of the stairs, the guard walked out the double doors to the throne room and opened one of them. Go right in, he said to me. Thanks, I said politely before I walked past him in the throne room. He closed the door behind me. Upon entering the throne room, I noticed Luna standing in the middle of the room. She smiled when she saw me. Matthew, I am so glad you could make it here, she said. I smiled back and I walked up to her. I took my saddlebags off my back and placed them on the floor before I sat down in front of her. Hi, Luna. How have you been? I asked. Luna kept a smile. She let a small sigh. It has not been very easy, but I am handling the situation. I haven't met any stallions I like yet, she said. Well, I believe that it's only been 3 days. You need to take your time, Luna. Don't find the stallion. Let him find you. If you go rushing these stallions, you'll wind up in a bad relationship with the wrong guy. Trust me, I've seen it happen before, I stated. Luna then nodded. Yes, of course. Let him find me. I understand, she said. I smiled warmly at her. Trust me, Luna. Your stallion's coming. I know he is. There's someone out there for every pony. Remember that, I said. Luna nodded. With that out of the way, Luna cleared her throat. Anyway, I bet you're wondering what your gift is. It is something truly marvelous, she stated. Upon hearing this, I became even more curious and excited. I nodded. Yeah, what is it? I asked. Luna then smirked. You will see. We just need to wait until it's ready, she said before she sat down on the floor. Ready? I thought with confusion. I then shook off the thoughts before I started making small talk with Luna. We continued to talk while we waited for this mysterious person to show up. A few minutes later, we heard the double doors open. I turned my head around to see a guard walk in. Your Highness, it is done, he stated. Luna smiled. Thank you, guard. Bring it in, she said. I watched as the guard turned around and walked out of the throne room. A second after he left, 2 forger unicorns came in. One of them was having a big red metal box in front of him as they approached us. Place it here, please, Luna said. She pointed her hook down the space between us. Once the forgers reached us, they did as they were told and placed the metal box down between me and Luna. Luna smiled with satisfaction before she looked at the forgers. Thank you, that will be all, she said. The forgers bowed before they walked back over to the doors and left the throne room. Luna used her magic to close the doors to give us privacy. I looked down the red box with wonder. What's in there? I asked. Luna smiled at me. Something no other Pegasus has ever had before. It is my finest creation yet, she said. Luna then used the magic to open the metal lid, and there was a bright glowing light inside the box. I couldn't see the source of glow because it was so bright. Matthew, I present to you The horned helmet! And said she used her magic to lift the golden helmet out of the box and float it in front of me. The helmet was made of shiny gold metal. It looked a lot like one of the helmets Celestia's guards wear, except it didn't have the plume brush on top of it like their helmets did. But that was nothing. What really got my attention about it was the green crystal poke at the forehead area. In a way, it resembled a unicorn horn. Luna used her magic to slowly rotate in the air to show the whole thing off. It was forged from the finest metal in Equestria. It's first indestructible, never denting, never rusting. The perfect helmet for non-magical beings. Luna explained. She kept her eyes on the helmet. I stared at it with awe. I felt the same feeling I had when I first laid my eyes on the elements of harmony. What does it do? I asked. See the crystal on the helmet's forehead? That crystal will be the power behind your helmet. All it needs is some magic from your element, and you'll be able to use that magic for your own advantages, Luna stated. I was confused for a moment before I realized what she meant by all this. I looked at her. You mean, when I put this on, I'll have the magic abilities of a unicorn? I asked. Luna looked at me before she nodded. Yes, you will have both flight and magic by your side when you wear this helmet. This is my gift to you. I was surprised by what I was hearing. I would be able to use magic like a unicorn, like Twilight. I would basically become an eloquent with this thing, with powers even my element can't give me. I smiled at her. Luna, this is a great gift. Thank you so much. I like it. But you said it needed magic. How do we do that? I asked. I've already figured that out. You need to pair it with the magic from your element. And once that is done, the helmet will answer to no one else but you. Just in case the wrong points get their hooves on it, Luna said. I nodded before I took a few steps back. I closed my eyes and thought about the element on my body. The bright flash of light, my element appeared on my body. I opened my eyes and looked down at my golden armored fist. It's been a while since I last saw you, I said to it. Luna looked back up at the floating helmet before she turned around so the crystal horn was facing me. Luna looked back at me. Are you ready? She asked. I nodded. Yep, I answered. Just focus your mind. Imagine the element's power flowing into the crystal, Luna said softly. I closed my eyes and did as she said. I heard a small humming sound coming from my chest. While I did that, the green crystal, in the shape of my cutie mark, and chest out of my element began to glow before a small beam shot out the center and connect with the tip of the helmet's crystal horn. This continued for a few minutes before the beam stopped and my crystal cutie mark stopped glowing. I opened my eyes to see the crystal horn on the helmet glowing green before the glow faded away. Luna then walked up to me with the helmet flown beside her. It is done. Here, it is yours, she said before she hovered the helmet in front of me. I took it in my front hooves and examined the helmet. When I turned it around to look at the back, I noticed a slightly white slit going up along the middle and ending near the forehead. What's this slit for? I asked Luna. It is for your hair to poke through. We would not want the helmet to fly on your mane, would we? Luna said before she let a small laugh. I chuckled. Guess not, I said. After examining it for a bit, I was finally ready to try it on. I lifted it up before I lowered it down to my head. It was surprisingly light for its size. And Luna was right. My mane poked through the slit at the back, which made the helmet feel easier to wear. For a helmet, this thing's kinda comfy, I said with a pleased voice. Luna smiled. I am so glad you like it. Now for the test, she said before her horn glowed. I wondered what Luna was doing before there was a small flash of light between us. I looked down to see 3 colored rocks on the floor. One was red, and the other one was yellow. I was confused by this. Just then there was another flash, and I looked out to see a big brown book in front of me. The book opened on a certain page. I read the title of the page to see the words levitation spell. The book was obviously a spell book. This will be a simple levitation spell. I want you to stack these rocks on top of each other in precise order. First yellow, then red. Think you can do it? Luna asked with a raised eyebrow. I turned my attention back to the rocks before I looked up at the book. I gulped. I'll try. I then read the spell for levitation and it was easy enough to understand. But was it possible to do it? I didn't know. But if unicorns like Twilight could do it, so could I. I looked back down the rocks before Luna took the book away, and she took a few steps back to give me room. I closed my eyes tight and did as the book said. I just had to focus power into the horn while imagining the rocks lifting up. I cried as I tried to use magic for the first time ever. felt as though my brain was pushing against my skull. But even though it was rough feelings, it made some progress. The crystal horn on my helmet began to glow slightly. The red rock began to glow as well before it lifted up off the floor. As I tried to hold the rock above the yellow rock, I gave in and fell back to the floor. I breathed heavily. It's harder than I thought. How you do this without even grunting? I asked as I forced my head up to face Luna. Do not put so much pressure into it. We do it without pushing ourselves. Try again, but relax your mind, Luna said. I took a few more breaths before I looked back down to the rocks. I closed my eyes and did as she said. I relaxed and focused pounding the horn while imagining the rock lifting up again. The crystal horn glowed easier this time. The red rock began to glow before it slowly lifted off the ground. It floated towards the yellow rock before it stopped right above it. I opened one of my eyes to see what I was doing. I slowly opened the other while trying to keep the rock floating. I made it lower down slightly before it touched the yellow rock and I released it from my magic. The rock didn't fall off and I smiled with joy. Hey, I did it! I cheered. Luna walked up to me and smiled. Yes, you did. I knew you could. But that was only one step one. There are many more spells for you to learn. I cannot teach you many, but I will teach you some beginner spells. You can learn the rest of Twilight Sparkle. Who better to teach you than her? I nodded. Alright, so what spells am I learning today? I asked. You seem to have mastered the levitation spell. Now you need to learn teleportation, illumination, and finally the attack spell, Luna stated. I gave a small smile before a worrying thought hit me. Okay. So I guess that means I have to... Luna cut me up by hovering the spell book right in front of me. Read the spell book to learn these spells? Yes, she said. I took the book in my front hooves before I let out a whiny groan. Luna heard this and giggled in amusement. Meanwhile, where is Boutique? Rarity was in deep focus on Twilight's wedding gown. She was wearing her design glass over her eyes while a measuring tape hung from the back of her neck. She also had a basket full of flowers and stuff sitting beside her. Her home glowed through for a number of white bows flew out from the basket. She pictured in her mind how the dress would look if she put the bows on it. No, that'll never do, Rarity said to herself before she tossed the bows aside.